Good morning again, class. Let me just remind you what we had in the previous class. In our previous class, we had this example that applies operator. We had declared the variable. After we had declared the variable, we have assigned the values for these variables. And then we also had calculated which values we have applied here arithmetic operators, which are multiply, plus, and of course, the assignment statement for the equal sign. Okay, these are the values we have calculated. And then we also had displayed the values, necessary values. So all of this was done in our example, which we have demonstrated or we have all written last meeting. This was the solution of our program last meeting. So this was the program we have done for this chapter. This was the last example of chapter number 2. What are the other things we have in chapter 2? The main topics we had in chapter 2 are Java tokens, operators, variables, and data types, which we have already completed. And that ends our chapter 2. Now let's move on with one chapter, although it's not the next chapter. I just think it's necessary before I introduce input. Okay, so input and output operations in Java will be taken via console. Okay, there will be input stream and output stream. Now for this slide, we will be covering outcome number 4. And outcome number 4 will cover input and output operations in Java. Output operations, we have already discussed them. In our previous examples, we had already covered the output method or output operation, which is the print and print line method. Okay, now it's still covered here in this PowerPoint presentation, but in our practical, we have already used print and print line method. So what are the objectives of this outcome or of this PowerPoint? You are to understand how you will input from the keyboard, and then where are we going to have the input console, or how do we collect input from the console? We are going to use, of course, a scanner for that. You can be able to input also from file using this scanner class, and then we will be understanding how to handle tokens and delimiters using the scanner class. You can manually, as you can see here, sometimes we do not need any input at all. We can assign the value. The same thing we have done in our program. So I think you have noticed that. Did we input any value here? We have not entered any value, but we are able to have the value assigned and have the value calculated. And we had it output or displayed here in this print line method. What did we do? Did we input any value here? No, we did not. Instead of entering the value, what we had was we have just assigned the value. We had manually assigned the value, which is using the assignment statement or assignment operator equal sign. That's with data type or declaration first of the variable, and then you assign the literal. Or to get our input, we will be using the scanner class. We are to input from our console or from our keyboard using scanner classes input methods. This is a class, and inside this class, there will be many input methods. Okay, a scanner object will open a stream to input or to collect input. And this scanner will collect it from system.in. You remember in the print or print line method, we are using system.out. In input, through the scanner object, we are going to use system.in. system.in. So again, we will be using system.in. Now, how do we do that? How is it possible in NetBeans IDE or using this particular integrated development environment? What we do is we are going to assign an object for that scanner class, which is using this format. Scanner is going to be declared like this one. So we have scanner, which is the name of the class, and then this can be assigned by you. This is the object name equal to new scanner, and this is going to be needed in your declaration system.in. Okay, so this is on the theory part. I'm going to show this to you how you will declare this in the practical later. So in the meantime, with this slide, please take note that for you to be able to use the input method inside the scanner class, you have to create object for that scanner class. Okay, so this is already in object-oriented form. So just accept it in the meantime. Later on, this particular format of declaring an object, it will be explained to you further, and you will come to understand what this format is all about, how this format is being given to declare something. So in the meantime, let's just take note that this whole line here, you don't change anything except this object name here. If you want to input something, this line here is required. It is needed. I'll show you that later. Now, this is an example of an input. I will just show this to you in the program later. Of course, if you are to read input, you will have to type. Let's say enter product name, then you have to type the product name. If it says enter product ID, then you'll have to input or type the input ID when it is running. Okay, so the default delimiter is the space. What do you mean by delimiter? When you want when you want the console to accept the value, you can put space or you can press enter key. Like this one, these are actually 3 inputs. The first input is first token, and then you can have space in between, or you can press here enter key, or you can just put space in between. This means I have 1, 2, 3 inputs here. Okay, let's show that later in our practical. So let's just take this theory and finish this theory. So how do we declare? As I've said, you are to declare first the object for that scanner class, and that object is going to be used with the method. So the method now to input an integer is nextInt. To input a double data type is nextDouble. To input a string is next. Let's take these 3 input methods. What are these 3 input methods? To input an integer, you are going to use nextInt. What is the syntax? This object name you declared here, preceded by that, preceded by the method name. So that's the method name to input an integer. Okay, same thing here. Object name, scanner's object name, that is SC, that the method name to input that variable or to input that data type. To input double data type, you will use nextDouble. What else is very useful? Of course, how do we input string? To input string, you are to use next method. So to input integer, nextInt. To input double, nextDouble. To input a string, next. These 3 input methods are the most useful input methods available in a scanner class. Others will be discussed later. You have also next float, next short, okay, next at, if you will have the character, and next byte, and many other next next methods are there. These next methods will allow you to input values. Okay, so that's the discussion on the theory. Don't worry, I'm going to show this to you in practical so that you can understand it better. Okay, for example, I have here now to input a string value. I'll do this in the practical. Just I will tell you, this is the declaration of the scanner class so that you can be able to use next method through this SC or the scanner objects class or the scanner object, which is SC, and the method to input is next. Okay, so you see the syntax. Let me just briefly tell you the syntax. What's the syntax to input? To input, okay, here is the syntax. The syntax is, hold on. Okay, or later in the practical, it's easier. Okay, not in here. Let me just continue with this one. Again, on this example, we have already our declaration of the scanner. And then you have the prompt that says enter the name. And this is the input method. This is similar to cin in C++. This is similar to cout in C++. Cout, cin. Okay, it's just longer. Cout, cin, and then cout. This is displaying the name which was entered. Okay, this simply inputs the name and displays the name. I will show this to you. I will demonstrate this to you in our practical later. Okay, same thing here. This enters two numbers. So you see, the method used here is next. Why? Because we are entering string. Here, what's the method being used? The method used here is next int. Why? Because we are entering an integer value. So next int, because we are going to input an integer data type. Okay? So if it's double, let's say you have changed this to double, then you will put next double. Okay? So for print and print line, this is finished already, and that's this chapter. This chapter is referenced from Oracle iLearning material. This chapter is only for your input, output methods. Now, let's demonstrate this using practical. It's easier for you to understand if we have this in practical. Remember this program? How did we input the value here? How did we input the value? We did not input the value, correct? What we have done is we have assigned the value. Are you still there? Yes. Are you still there?
Yes.
Yes, very good. Okay, I hope you are still online and listening to teacher. Okay, the first thing which I have told to declare is the scanner class. Yeah, declare scanner object. I mean, it's scanner object. How do we declare the scanner object? Okay, I'll just put the syntax here. Okay, so you will have the class name. I will just put here. So I'll have the class name followed by the object name. This is going to be discussed more later. Equal to new. This is a new operator. This is used to create new object. New, and then again your class name, the same class name which you have given there. So you have class name. Can you see it? You can just magnify your screen, okay? And then don't forget your system or the parameter, no? System.in. Is this required, teacher? Yes, the system.in will allow you to access through the class name scanner or through the scanner. Okay, let's follow that syntax. What is the class name we will use where all these input methods are located? The class name we will use where all these input methods, which are the next int, next double, next, and so on, is inside the scanner. Scanner, okay, let's say I'm going to use KB. In our example here, what was the name of the scanner object? The name of the scanner object was SC, yeah? Okay, so what I am explaining now, I am explaining this particular line. This is the class name. What is the name of the class? It's the scanner class. And then, what's the object name? It's SC. I have changed there, equal to new scanner, and then system.in. Going back there, what object name did I use? I used KB. I can use many other, okay? Like let's say I have RP. I can use my name also. I can use Ruby, no problem. That's the only thing you can change, new. And then I will have the same one. It says here, class name, the same class name you have used here. Class name is scanner. Object name here is Ruby, equal to new. And then I have the same class name. It's still scanner. And of course, do not forget the parameter which is required to input. Allow you to input system.in. And then, of course, don't forget the semicolon. Okay? Now, Ruby might be confusing. I will just use KB for the keyboard. This is for keyboard input. So, what do we have here? Scanner. KB is the object name for the scanner, equal to new scanner system.in. Where is that explained? We have explained that here. Okay. Now, we have finished already declaring the object to use the methods. But I have error here. What is this error? It says here that class scanner cannot be found. It's considering it to be a symbol which has to be declared. How do we declare that? To declare that, you will have to import something. Okay? You remember in your C++, you are also adding some files using namespace std. Do you remember that? Do you have that declaration in your C++?
Yeah.
Yes, okay. The same way, you are also going to import in Java. If in C++, you are putting the line using namespace std, here you will need to import something. Okay, we will be needing the Java utility file. In C++, you're using namespace std. Okay, here we are going to use the utility file. So these are the utility files. Okay, where many of your commands or methods are included. You see that? There are so many. You can have random, stacks, string joiner, optional, list, enumeration, enumerated list, and so on. What do we need here? We will only need the scanner utility file or utility class. Where is that? Okay, maybe you will not remember the spelling, but it's here. You see this? You just double click that and it goes semicolon. Okay? So done. Do we still have the red mark? You see, I will put this in remarks just to hide it. I have the error. What error is it saying? It's saying that scanner class was not declared, cannot be found. So we have to declare it. Where do we declare it? Look at that. I don't even need to type. Okay? See, a while ago we have typed it, no? But if you click here, immediately you can add the import command. You see that? Did I type it? No, I did not. Again, let me just show it to you again. Okay, I have error here. If I click this, I can simply add the import method which I want. Do I need this one? No, I don't need this also. What I need is just the Java utility class. So if I need the Java utility class, I'll just click this, add import for Java utility scanner. Click that, and there you have already your import line, okay, to be allowed to use the scanner class. So do we still have error here? No more. We do not have any error anymore. Okay. Now, we have already the scanner class. So we have now, what are the steps we have done? So we have this. This is to import or to add scanner class. So we have this step. We have imported the scanner class, but before we have done that, we have the declaration of the scanner object. Okay, so you declare first the scanner object, and then it will show you the error here, and then click add import Java utility scanner. Okay, so those are the first two steps we have done before we use the input methods. What are the input methods we use? In this example we have presented a while ago, the input method used was next. This is the input method. Okay, what is the syntax of the input method? The input method syntax is, let me just give it to you, object name, put the object name, dot the method name. Okay, what are the method names we can use? You can have next int for integer, next double for double, next for string. Okay, so what is the syntax? We have the object name dot method name or the method. Okay, now let's try. What is the object name I have given here? The object name we have used here is
KD.
KB. So let's just copy that. Object name KB. Okay, that what I will input. See, you will have here your input method. You see that? You can have next. Okay, next byte, next boolean. Can you see? Can you see how many methods you can use inside the scanner? These are the methods available in scanner. Okay, so you can simply choose what you want to input. Short data type, integer data type. You will use only next method. Where is that next method? If it's too long for you to find, if you know the method, just type it. There you have. Okay, so I'll click on this. This will input a string. See this? This will input, look at this, integer. You can see the description here. Can you see the description? Yes. Please answer. Can you see the description? Yes. See this?
Teacher,
To input an integer, to input a byte, to input a boolean, to input double, to input float. You see, it's also capital D and so on. I hope you don't misspell. This is to input string. Let's just double click that and then semicolon. Okay, now you see class, if I am going to input here, where will I save that? Where will I save? Say, I want to put a prompt. Let's put a prompt first. And to put a prompt is to tell the user what the user must input. So I will just put a prompt. So print line. I'll have print line. And then I will have double quotes. I'll put here, enter. I don't want that box so that you don't be confused. Let me just type it. Anyway, I know the syntax. Okay, I will say enter. This is just for prompt. What do we need to enter here? We need the PID, correct? A P name, sorry. We have the P name, okay? Is this part of input? No, this is just a prompt, okay? What do you mean by prompt? This prompt will allow the user to know what is to be entered, okay? If we don't have this, nothing is going to be seen by the end user, whoever is using it, okay? Now, after you put the prompt, you are to input the value. See this? This will only accept the value. But where do we save it? In C++, if you are to use cin, you do it like this, no? Cin double greater than and put the variable here, correct? That's in C++. Can I do like this in C++? I don't have the variable. Is this correct in C++?
No.
No, it's not correct in C++. We need to save it in the variable, right? So we must always put here the variable name. Let's say if I want P name, then I will do it like this. Cin double greater than and then P name. The same thing I have to do in Java. I need to save it to one variable, which I will put with equal sign. I will put this in P name, correct? So again, I will save whatever input I will have here to which variable, whatever I will type here as input will be equated or assigned or saved in this variable I have kept here. Will I need PID here? It's saying here I will input PName, no? Is this appropriate? No,
No, no.
because I want to save PName here. So let's put here PName, right? Okay, let's change the syntax then. This should be variable name equal to object name dot method name. So this is now the correct syntax or correct form of entering the value. Okay, let me just remove this because I have just reminded you C++. So we have the variable name. What's our variable name? Where we save it? We will save it in pname equal to new kb dot next in. So do I still need this variable assignment here? I don't need this anymore. I can now type the value. No? Correct? Again, what I have done, I have removed already the assigned the value. Why I don't need this assigned value anymore? Because instead of assigning the value, I am now going to input the value here. Okay, so there are three important steps we have done. Let me remove this now because I will input here. What are the steps we have done? This is our step one. Okay, what is our step one? Step one, we have declared the scanner object using this syntax. Correct? Okay. Step two, this is to input, huh? Step two, what have we done? Because if we do not have this import utility class, we will be having an error here. You remember that? So we must insert or add import method before the class declaration. Okay, it's between the package and the class declaration. It's here, second line in between. Okay, so this is step number two. This is to import the scanner class. Step one, declare the scanner object. Step two, import the scanner class. And then step three, what is your step three? Your step three is the import method itself. Okay, this was our step three. What is our step three? We will be doing this input method. We will be using now the input method. Which input method did we use here? Next. What's the name of the variable where we are saving it to? We will save it to variable p name. Okay, so that is input method in Java. It's very long, no? Step one, declare the variable. Step two, import the, Step one, declare the scanner object. The scanner object used here is KB. Step two, import the scanner class. Step three, input the value using the input method. Okay, clear? Let's try and show the output. It's very long. There are three steps to follow when we input a value. This is only for one variable. That's for the p name. It says here, you can see the output now. A while ago, we don't have any input, correct? It's just showing the value itself. But now, what do we have? It says now, enter p name. Let's enter p name. Let's say I want to enter now Samsung. Okay, Samsung Note 10. Do we have Samsung Note 10? Okay, I am entering a string, so I am allowed to use alphanumeric with spaces also. No problem with that. Can you see that? Okay, now let's press enter key. Oh, by the way, okay, it will only accept, see, a while ago, we have told that the delimiter or the spaces will be considered as delimiter. Or this means I will have three inputs here. Putting a space will mean I have three input. I have 1, 2, 3 input. So it will only accept the first one. Okay, let me run it once more. I will just put one word. Okay, so I will have only one input or one word. I will not put spaces in between. So I have Samsung XP. Okay, this is just an example. So I have Samsung XP, and then I have the others. See, the product name is Samsung XP. Whatever we have entered is the one being retrieved. Okay, so we have entered and it's being showed here, and the other things are still showing. We did not change that. Okay, so clear on the input? Any question on how to input a value?
No.
No. Okay, now can you help me? I will now input also for PID. Who wants to help me? First step, do we still need to import and put these lines again? No need, huh? One time only. You will do only step 1 and step 2 one time. You will do it only once. You don't need to declare another scanner object again here. You don't need to import again. If you have another input method to use, you are just going to repeat this prompt and method. Okay, so let's have the prompt first. I will copy this. What do we input this time? Let's input the product ID. Okay, so I will have PID. All right, so let's input the PID. Okay, how do I input PID? Anyone? Anyone can help me? Oh, sorry, this should be system that out. Who wants to help me? How I will input PID? First, I will put the variable, right? And then I will follow the same format. Do I still need KB? Yes. I will still need KB. Okay, so I will have KB. That. If you press that, the options, okay, will be there. What data type I will input? What is the data type of PID? Integer.
Int.
Yes, so we are going to use next int. This one is our next int. Okay, enter that and then semicolon. Baskalas. So this enters product name. This enters what? This enters the product ID. So do I still need this? Yes. Do I still need this assignment here? No need, because I want to input that instead. So I don't need anymore the assignment for that. I don't need to assign any value anymore. Why? Because I am going to input the value. Okay. Can you do please input for these two? Can you try? Can you try? Okay. Can you try now in your program, or shall I finish? Okay, I'll just finish, huh? And then you will try it on your own. So I'll just copy and paste. What do we input here? We are going to input here the product amount. Okay, what next statement I will use? Let me see. What are the options? KB dot. Next, what do I use?
Double.
What's the data type of amount? Next, where's the next double? I should use next double. See that? Okay, you don't worry about the spelling, it's there. And you see, it's next double with a capital D, not small letter D. If you declare, it should become blue and it should be small letters, all small letters. But here, it should be capital letter. Next double, capital D. Okay, what's wrong with this one? It says incompatible conversion double to int. Why? What's wrong with line 24? Can anyone tell me what's wrong with line 24?
Because not to change the amount, you
Yes.
write PID.
PID. Very good, dear. Okay. We should copy and paste the correct variable name. You are using next double, but the data type of PID a while ago is integer. A while ago, I put here PID, no? That's why it's saying incompatible. Why? It's because I have here next double, but PID is declared as integer. Okay? So, put the correct variable where you want to save the value. You want to save it in amount, so you should put next double because amount is in double data type. I will remove this now. Okay. And next, let's input also the number of items. So let me just copy this because I'm going to input an integer value. Copy. You can do it while I'm explaining also. I think others might have. Someone is doing? I think so. Maybe Abdul, Fatima, and Al Anud. Okay, so I want this for the number of items. So do we need to change this? Are we using next int for items?
Yes.
Yes, because items was declared as integer. So let's change this as item. So we have now our prompt and input for all the four values which we need. We need to input the product name, it's there. We need to input the product ID, it's there. The amount of the product and the number of items, how many you would like to buy. So those are our input methods applied in this program. Previously, this program was only assigned with values. These variables were assigned with values. Now we have revised it. We have explained and changed them for us to be able to input the values instead of assigning the values. That's the same program we had last meeting. Do we need to input tax, amount, tax, and total? Do you think we need to change this and input the values?
No.
No, why? Because it says this process is for the calculation. If you are to calculate the value like this one, do not enter the values anymore because the value will come from the calculation, from the formula you are giving here, not from input. Okay, so let's run this program now so that finally you can see the output. So let's have the product name. So it's waiting for our input there. Let's say I want Huawei. Okay, Huawei. And then I have the product ID. Okay, I have, let's say, number. This is number. Okay, and then I have the amount. Let's say this is 250 reals. Enter. And then enter how many I will buy. I will buy 3. It should be 750, but because of the tax, it becomes 900 money reals or RO. Okay? So we have our input now on this program. Now, class, I'd like you to try it. So where this example came from? This example came from our operators example, our discussion last meeting. Now, I'd like you to change assignment statement. Instead of assigning the value, I want you to input the values. Okay? So again, what you will do instead of assigning the value, I want you to input the value. Can you please try? You can try, please, in your NetBeans IDE. After you try, I'm going to give you another exercise to apply input methods in Java. Okay, that's all for input methods. Do you have any question, class? Any question, please? Is it clear?
Yes, teacher, clear.